Hi, this is Sneha,
And this is Atik,
and welcome back to our channel, Life and Books.
where we explore stories both from the pages of books and from the pages of real life.
And today we are starting a new series on our channel called Out of the Box Disruptive Thinking.
So, what disruptive thinking are we doing today?
Today's topic might raise a few eyebrows and maybe a few inner questions as well. We are going to talk about the paradox. Actually, I heard this in a sports documentary that humility wins you friends, but arrogance makes you win the championships.
Yeah, that quote hit me hard and it just stuck with me. Like, we're always taught that humility is the way. Be kind, be modest, don't brag. But the people we end up remembering often weren't humble at all.
Exactly. The society praises the humility, but history tends to remember the bold, the brash, and often the arrogant. Muhammad Ali, Kobe Bryant, Virat Kohli, they all had unshakable confidence and they didn't hide it. They told the world that they were great even before the world believed that they were great.
And they got criticized for it too. Like when Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest, people thought he was full of himself. But he was right. He became the greatest. He
Mhm.
wasn't just being overconfident. He saw something in himself no one else did. Isn't that thinking outside the box?
It absolutely is. Thinking outside the box often means daring to believe in yourself when others don't, and having the courage to say it out loud. It's not about confidence, it's about perspective. Confidence, when channeled properly, becomes the vision. But the line between the confidence and the arrogance, that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah, like Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba. He had this quote, I will be the one who takes the last shot. Not because I think I'm better than my teammates, but simply because I've trained for this moment. That's not arrogance. That's hard work and belief working together.
But still, if someone less successful said the same thing, we might label them as arrogant. And that is the paradox.
Yeah.
But when you are not yet proven, boldness feels threatening to others.
Mm.
When you are successful, suddenly it becomes inspiring.
That's true. We always love the underdog until they start believing they can win.
Mhm.
Then we call them too full of themselves. Why do you think people get so uncomfortable with that kind of confidence?
Because it challenges the status quo.
We are conditioned to value politeness and modesty, especially in people who are just starting out.
People don't like norms being broken
Mm,
unless the results justify it.
mm,
So, humility is like a social lubricant,
mm,
it makes people feel safe around you.
mm,
But arrogance, let's say audacious self belief, makes people uncomfortable
mm,
unless you prove them wrong.
mm. Right. I love the word audacious.
Let's reframe the word arrogance. What if we call it radical self belief? Kind of thinking outside the box, where you are not just trying to fit in, but you are trying to redefine what is possible.
Like Virat Kohli staring down bowlers, saying, I'm gonna beat you. That's mental warfare. That's leadership. He's not trying to be liked. He's trying to win. And yet, off the field, he's known to be so respectful and humble. So maybe humility and arrogance can coexist together?
That's some evolution in thinking. Yes, both can coexist. You can be humble in your heart and still bold in your vision.
Mm.
You can treat others with kindness, but still believe without being apologetic that you are meant for greatness.
The real question is, when is arrogance useful? And when is it destructive?
Let's unpack that. Arrogance becomes destructive when it's rooted in insecurity,
Mm.
when it's used to belittle others, when it blinds you to growth, when it blocks empathy.
Mm.
But when it's rooted in purpose, preparations, and clarity, it's kind of fire.
It's not about showing off. It's about showing up to your goals, showing up to your discipline, showing up to your craft. Kobe Bryant didn't just talk, he outworked everyone. Muhammad Ali trained like a beast. Virat Kohli changed his fitness to match his ambition.
Exactly, their so called arrogance wasn't empty, it was backed by action, dedication, and obsession for growth. That's the kind of arrogance the world eventually respects.
Mm.
Not the empty bragging, but the kind that's fused with excellence.
And maybe society needs that contrast. Humility keeps us grounded. Arrogance, or radical belief, keeps us moving forward, pushing boundaries. Without it, maybe nothing big would ever happen.
Yeah, think about the greatest innovators Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and even people like Frida Kahlo, Maya Angelou didn't wait for permission to be great. They just declared it. Thinking outside the box, and yes, it made people uncomfortable.
So, maybe, if you want to do something extraordinary, you have to be okay with being misunderstood, at least for a while.
That's the cost of vision. Being okay with people calling you too much, too loud, too confident, because you are seeing a version of yourself or your future that they can't yet imagine.
And here's the twist. Even as teenagers, we deal with this. Like, if I want to say, I'm going to be a billionaire, or I'm going to be the best in my field, adults often brush it off. They don't take that confidence seriously.
And that's why it's important to protect that inner voice. That voice that says, I can.
Mm,
That voice needs your defense, especially when you are young, because that's when it's most fragile and also most powerful.
mm,
So don't shrink yourself to make others feel comfortable,
mm.
but also don't let your belief become your ego. Let it become your fuel.
You're right, Mama. Confidence isn't about being better than others. It's about being better than your former self. And sometimes that means walking alone for a while until your results can speak louder than your words ever could. And by then, the world will say, look how confident they were. Of course they made it. But they forget. At first, the same confidence made them roll their eyes.
That's the paradox. So stay kind, stay curious, but don't be afraid to claim your space. Think outside the box, even if the world tries to put you in one.
Because the box was never meant for the OGs anyway.
So, here we wrap up our today's episode. Thank you for joining us.
If this episode made you think, smile, or question the norm, consider subscribing, sharing, or leaving a comment. We would love to hear your thoughts.
Until next time, live life with gratitude and keep reading.
Live life with gratitude and keep reading. We'll see you in the next episode.